Okay, folks, this is the game that probably everyone waited for almost like eternity. But the newest bug-filled masterpiece is finally here. Hollow Knight Silksong. And let me tell you, it's beautiful, brutal, maddening as we hoped. So let's sink our heads into this one. First, a quick fresh reminder. The original Hollow Knight you played as a silent knight, exploring the ruined insect kingdom of Hollow Nest. Silksong flips the script. Now you're a hornet, a big name in the first game, who's been captured and whisked away to a brand new land, Pharloom. You woke up and you are feeling that something feels wrong, with your only part of your strength dropped in the world that's gorgeous, dangerous, and full of secrets. Your goal? Climb upward, uncover plots, rediscover your power, and maybe get some payback. So let me show you why this game is so cool. First of all, the very interesting thing here is that Pharloom isn't a hollow nest, but it feels like a wild sibling. It has its own horrors, ecosystem, quirks, and rules right off the bat. You kind of like sense that Silksong isn't just a sequel, it's its own beast. Movement and combat and flow of the game is something that I want to speak the most. Here's where Silksong really flexes. Hornet is nimble, like absurdly nimble. She has mid-air kind of like dash, hard jumps, more aerial control. The flow feels faster, slicker. You zip through rooms, dodge attacks, view between enemies. When everything is clicking, you just feel like dancing tornado of a needle strikes. But they didn't just hand you speed, they give you risk. The diagonal gives you attack. For example, it's a change from Knight's straight pogo strike. That tweaks kind of like a makes combos that feel fresh, but also more precious. One wrong spacing and you'll bounce into spikes. The combat leans into heavier than the first games too. Enemies feel more aggressive, bosses have more tools, and you'll punish for your hard mistakes. You will die. Often, yes, I really mean often. But when you beat something taken on struck on you, the victory feels earned. Pharloom is very vertical in terms of the level progression. And this is where I want to speak the most about the level design and progression in general. You're climbing in the game. Levels aren't just left and right, they're up and down, looping from the corridors, hidden shafts, strange passes that falls kind of back on themselves. Early on, I actually even looked down and realized that yeah, falling is a good chance to meet death again. But the design encourages you learning shortcuts, kind of like discovering hidden routes and squeezing every movement tool you'll find. You get quests, NPC, side quests. Silksong leans kind of like a little harder into quest structure than original that gives you more direction that you don't know where to go. But also many secrets still hide behind the walls. You aren't kind of obvious and you will not learn it very easily. Some are even require kind of a deep exploration and experimenting with your tools. And honestly, discovering of those hidden rooms still gives the same thrill for Hollow Knight. One caveat, some performing kind of sections demanding a lot. The new mobility helps, but timing kind of precision and the momentum matter more. I had moments where I jumped and I didn't feel precise, and I cursed lots at the screen. And I'm not even lying, it is actually like that. The game has ups and downs in narrative kind of like way. So let's talk about the shadow along with the shine. The ups. The Silk Song feels very maturity. It's like everything that worked in Hollow Knight, the atmosphere, the secrets, the senses of wonder, and leads and kind of goes even further. The combat feels sharper, the world is deeper, the risk is more accurate, like everything in the games feels more rewarding. The downside is very hard. Like believe me, comparing to the original game, it almost feels like a night and day, and the game feels different in this way. And for some, maybe even too hard. Some bosses early have to be really called out for overturned enough. That folks were demanding slightly safer balance tweaks. And I've seen a lot of like comments that people say, "Oh my god, I'm just jumping into the game and it feels like much harder." Like people asking in the Reddits and on Steam discussions that is the game feels like too hard. And this is not only coming from newbies, it's coming in from people who played and played a lot the original game. Also for the players who love explorations but hate getting pushed from platforming failure or taking the wrong path, some sections in the places, not game breaking but noticeable. So let me give you my final verdict on the game. Listen, Hollow Knight Silksong is a love letter to the fans. And it's very often that people say this when it comes to the sequels, but believe me, this one actually literally kills it. But it's also like almost an own wild adventure. It demands respect, it demands patience. It feels like it's not something that builds on the previous game, but rather gives you a more deeper explorations into the series. And I really love it for that. But more than that, it rewards those who push and learn everything around the game. If you love Hollow Knight and you're ready for something harder, faster, deeper, then 100% Silksong is a must play. If you're more casual and you feel like you want a lower stress, yeah, it might be hard, but again, I would recommend you to try it. For me, it was full on it. I'm literally climbing, falling, I'm learning, and it's a great game in general for what you play. If you're a Silksong player who already got a lot of hours in the game, drop your experience in the comments. If you're coming in from Hollow Knight original, let me know what you think from what you've seen, or maybe what are you expecting from the game, because I really like to read your comments, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.